Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday's Tips, Tricks, and Techniques on Thursday. I guess it is. I know I'm still running behind, but we will get caught up one day, and if we don't, that's okay too. We're getting videos out as fast as we can. We've had a lot of sickness in our family, and then some friends in the hospital with heart surgery, different things. So we have been in and out, and then I've had quite a few orders to fulfill, so it's been kind of a crazy week. But today what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on acrylic paints. Now, these are the craft acrylic paints. They're just the regular ones. Let me grab one. They're craft acrylic colors, premium, and let's see. They are, in this pack, there's 20 vivid colors, multi-purpose, matte finish, water-based, quick-drying, blendable, non-toxic. That's what I look for in paints, is non-toxic, because my grandkids play with these. So I do not want them to get into anything that's going to make them sick. And then the other ones that we're going to play with are the iridescent ones. These are so pretty. I want to show you some things on these. This is called Electric Plum here, but this is the same thing. They're iridescent, they're non-toxic, so they're water-based, so you don't have to worry about anybody getting sick off of those. Now, the first thing that I'm going to show you, and I know this has been out there on the internet all over the place, but I just wanted to show you my take on it. We're going to use just some bubble wrap, and I think, what colors? I really think I want to use some purple, and I think I'm going to use the iridescent purple and yellow. Easter's coming up, and I started to say Christmas. You know that's not right. Easter's coming up, and I just can't wait for Easter. I always love Easter every year. All right, so I do have a little bit of white on there. I'll probably put a little bit of white in there too. I have some purple and yellow and white. And then on your bubble wrap, just make sure that you're using the side that pops up. So not the side that goes in, but the side that pops up. And all we're going to do is create some card backgrounds. These are simple and easy, but to me, they're so pretty. Now, I just tap in my paint, and then I tap off just a little bit. And then you just start. This is just a scrap piece of paper. Actually, this is one of those pieces out of our watercolor pads that we have on sale in the shop. This makes a good card background because it's almost the size that you already need. So it's not a lot of waste. And I'm just going to tap around in different areas with my purple. And depending on how you put this down, is what kind of look you're going to get for the background. So if you want to do a very light touch, you're going to get just like that, a little bit of feathering. If you want to do a heavier touch with your little bubbles kind of blown up, then you're going to get some little dots, some circles. I do a little bit both ways. Doesn't matter to me. I just think it's pretty. And it makes for really good card backgrounds. When you can't think of anything else to use as a background, this is neat. Okay, I'm going to lay that one aside. That's my purple. I may have to come back in with that. I don't know. And you can use the same one if you want to. I'm just going to pull a different one for my yellow. And this is not completely dry, but I'm going to go in really lightly with my yellow, hoping not to make any mud. Like that. I'm going to just try to touch straight down and pull up and not move it to where it will try to blend it. That way I won't make mud, hopefully. And you can stop at any time. You can keep going. This is something that's up to you. You know what you want it to look like, so you just put color on there until you're happy with it. There's no right or wrong in this. Let me hold that up and look at it. Oh, those colors. That iridescent in that is so pretty. And I know you can't see it right now, but I will hold it up and show it to you in just a moment. Now, I'm just going to go straight in with this one and grab some of that white. Even though our background is kind of white, I'm going to go in and grab a little bit of that white and just kind of tone that yellow down just a little bit. And this white dries real pearlescent. It's almost like pearl when it dries. So I want that to be kind of on the top. And you can leave as much texture popping up as you want. Now you just need to set this aside and let it dry. So I'm going to see if I can show you some of that pearlescent. Oh yeah, see there, you can see it. The more that dries, the more that pearlescent is going to show on there. It is so pearly looking. I know that's not a word, but isn't that cute? All right, so we're going to lay this aside and let it dry. And then we're going to make a card out of it. Okay, now this is another one that I have done. And this is using tissue paper on the background. Look at that texture. Isn't that pretty? So I'll show you exactly how we did that one. And I'm going to cut this down and make a card out of it in a moment. So we'll grab another piece of this paper. And I'm using kind of the textured side of this. I'm going to lay this aside for a moment. I may use that again in a minute. That's the good thing about this. When it dries, you can go back and keep adding colors. Now, I think on this one, I'm going to use this purple that's already on my palette. And so I can use that up. I'm just going to use purple for the background, and I'm going to have to add more. I know that. Okay, I'm going to wet my surface just a little bit, and the reason being is because if you put a little water on that, it won't dry as fast, and we don't want this to dry real fast. We want it to stay wet for a while. All acrylic paint is not the same, I will tell you that. I have bought lots of acrylic paint over the years, and a lot of times I buy mine, just that 50-cent stuff at Walmart. And it works if you just want to paint something, but a lot of times it doesn't work as well as one that's a little bit more expensive. Now this is the Arteza brand. It's not real expensive, but I like using it because it does exactly what I want it to do. If I want it to be thick, I can leave it thick. If I want it to be thin, I can thin it out with water and it doesn't hurt it. So that's just a little note there, a little tip. But you can do this with the same acrylic paints that you have in your stock. Okay, now this is a piece of deli paper. I'm just going to crinkle that up and then straighten it back out. And then I'm just going to go in and lay it down on here. You can leave a lot of wrinkles or you can pull out some of the wrinkles. That's up to you. What look you're going for. Now, you don't need to pull on this a lot because if you do, your deli paper is going to tear. So I just pat it down with my hand until I get, you know, everything kind of covered and attached there. And then I'm just going to lift this up and move it to the side. See how that tore right there? But we're not going to need that anyway. That's what stuck to my table. But we're going to lay that aside and let that dry. All right, let's do this one. This one is done with just plain saran wrap or kitchen wrap, whatever you want to call it. Just this plastic stuff right here that you use to wrap up food and stuff in your kitchen. So what this is done with, this one is drying and it should be ready to pull off in just a few minutes. And we can show you that one and we'll make a card out of it. So I'm going to use some blue. This is not the iridescent. This is just the craft, the acrylic. And I'm just going to put some straight down on my piece of paper. This, you do need to have kind of a thick application to make this work right. You can water it down if you want to. and it'll make your drying time a little bit longer, but you won't have to use quite as much paint if you water it down. But you see how much I used, and that's good enough right there. Don't worry about getting all the brush strokes out of it. You don't need that. Then just take your saran wrap, whatever this is called. I think this is actually cling wrap. Somebody said it wouldn't work as good with cling wrap, but I can't really tell the difference. Now, you can scrunch this up. You can make lines with it. You can make circles with it, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to crinkle it up, and I'm just pulling the saran wrap closer and closer together. Just kind of pulling it in there and then pressing it down. And then we're going to lay this aside, and you can see what we've got there. Lay this aside, let it dry. You can let this dry completely, and it looks a lot different. If you pull it off right now, you can still use it, but some of the wrinkles and things that you have in your saran wrap won't be as prominent. But you can certainly pull it off right now if you want to. You're just going to get a different look. So the good thing is to try both. Try one to pull off immediately, and then try one that you let dry for a while. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of painting with some Q-tips. And I want to use purple, and this is just the regular purple, but I'm going to put it right on top of that iridescent. It doesn't matter. I can use both. And I think I have enough yellow on there. And then I want to pull out a little bit of pink. That should be enough. And I have just got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Q-tips taped together with some washi. And what we're going to do is just go into that purple. I'm going to tap a little bit of it off. And then I'm going to start somewhere right in there. And I'm just going to start tapping them up and down. I want to create some flowers. So just tap it up and down. And bonus points if you can tell me what type flowers these are when I finish with them. Because I know they're beautiful, but I have no idea what the name of them are. Okay. Need a little bit more right in there. I can tell more about everything when I look up in the camera. Tell more about if it's a little bit even or not. Which, don't worry about getting everything even. It has taken me a lot of years to realize that in art, it's just what you like. You don't have to try to make things perfect and to make everything even and symmetrical. You know, I'm an accountant, so everything had to be accurate in accounting. So it took a long time for me to realize that in art, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, let's see. This one, they look a little bit off that way, so I'm going to try to fix that a little bit. And let's pull this one up a little bit more right there, maybe. Looks a little bit better. All right, so that's all the purple that we're going to put down. And we're just going to flip our little Q-tips over. And I'm going to come back with some pink. You can put these together with rubber bands too. That works. These are the cheapo Dollar Tree Q-tips. I wouldn't use them in my ear because they actually fall apart. But I buy them for a great big bag for just a little bit of, well, for $1. Great big bag. I start to say for a little bit of nothing, and it is. It's $1. But, and then I use them for things like this. I use them to clean up my computer, different things around the house. But I don't use them for my ears because they do shed. All right, we're putting a little bit of pink in there. And this pink is iridescent, so it's going to have a little bit of shine in it. Okay, let me look at that as I hold it up. Pretty good. Let's see. I think I want a little bit of the light purple. Let's see. Not that purple. This purple. This is actually called Electric Plum Purple. See what that looks like on there. Just a little. And I'm just going to use that same end where the pink was. It won't hurt if that's mixed a little bit. Well, I think that's pretty enough right there. I don't think we need to do anything else to it. Now, I am no good at drawing anything, but I'm going to try my hand at just drawing a little base down here. There we go. And then we'll just draw some stems down into here from these. I have no idea how big the stems are on these things, but we will make them a little bit thicker at the top and a little thinner at the bottom when it goes into the water. I'm going to get a little bit of this light blue and some white and add in there. And mix that up. And then I'm just going to paint down in here, and that's just going to represent the water. Now we're going to go in with some brown. I don't know if the stems on these are brown or green, but we're going to go in with brown and just do some stems. And my paintbrush is really a little bit wide, but this is what I had on my table and I don't want to get up and get another one. Now I'm going to wait till this down here dries before I bring the stems down into the water. And then I'm going to mix some of the white and the brown to kind of tone that brown down quite a bit. And then I'm just going to come in with hopefully a little table looking thing here. All right, there is not the best painting in the world. I told you I am not a painter, but I wanted you to mainly see the iridescent colors and how you can create using just Q-tips on these little flowers. And like I said, let me know in the comments below what kind of flowers these are. But there you can see, I think, the iridescency in that paint. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I think it's so pretty, and it's so easy to paint with, so that makes it fun. So we're going to lay that aside. We can make a card out of this if we want. I might just cut part of it off and use it and make a card out of it. We're going to lay it aside, but I wanted to show you how you can make little flowers just by using the tip of a paintbrush and some paint. So let's grab another paintbrush here. I think I'll use the end of this one. So we're going to use the yellow first. I'm going to dip it in the yellow. That's going to be our center. Put a little dot down there. This is called dot painting. And I like for mine dots to be kind of raised, so I usually add quite a bit of paint on there, like that. Then you go into your white, and you can go in with the same brush or a thinner brush. This is a little bit smaller. And then you just put your dots around that. When they start getting smaller, you can go back to the paint and bring your dots in. And see that cute little flower? Let me hold that up. See that cute little flower? You can make a whole bed of these if you wanted to. I'm doing it on this paper so that you can actually see what it looks like. Now the yellow, this is iridescent, and it's a little bit thinner than the white. So that's why I have to kind of go in it a couple of times. But the white is very thick, and it works well for this technique. There we go. So just make a whole bed of these down here. Wouldn't that be pretty? And then another thing that you can do, you know how I love butterflies. If I put a butterfly on here and I wanted to create the butterfly's little trail where he was flying, you can do this. Just keep letting your little dots get smaller and smaller. And there's the butterfly's little trail. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Then there is another technique. You can make a swirl out of this. So just start with a big dot and then just kind of start going around. Depending on how big you want to make your swirl, just keep dipping back in your paint. And it doesn't matter if some of your dots are small and some of them are large. Just kind of get the feel of it by playing like that. So I think that's super, super cute. Another thing that you can do is, let's pretend that this is your card and you want to make some little trails around the edge of your card. You can do that. So you've got a large one. Just keep going until you get that little tiny dot and then start over with the white. Let's go back this way since I'm running out of room. Like that. Now this would be something that you definitely would have to sit and let it dry before you packed it up for the mail, but I think it's an absolutely beautiful way to do some different types of techniques on your cards. That is so pretty, I think. And then you can always come back in. Let's wipe this off and see if we have any green out here, and I don't think I do. You can always come back in with green And I would mix it if I was actually going to send this off, but I'm just going to show you what the green will do. On this, it's not going to show up as much on this paper. That's why I would mix it and get some light colors in there. But just to show you that you could make your stems with that green for your flowers. And you could always mix a little yellow in with that green. Little green in the yellow. And then they'll show up a little bit better. There's your little stems. Isn't that cute? I love these techniques. This one I have used before around my cards. I have used the swirl before, and I have used the little trail for my flowers. Of course, you can do this with other type mediums too, but with paint, you're going to have a little bit of dimension, and I know you can't, there you go, you can see it right there. You're going to have a little bit of dimension, and that's what I like on the cards. I like them different and with a little bit of dimension. Let's do a pink one on here and see what it looks like. And I will never quit playing with this. You guys will probably have other things to do, but I love playing with this and doing different techniques. And all the iridescent paints are a little bit thinner, so you may have to go back and add two. But isn't that pretty? There's the pink one. This is completely dry, so I'm going to bring that back in and let you see. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now here is some, you can see how even and what a matte finish. This is the blue, the regular blue paint from the Craft Acrylic. You see how even and how smooth that goes on. And then look at this. I did this a lighter, kind of left my brush marks in there. But that's how smooth that goes on. And this is just regular cardstock. It didn't warp my paper or anything. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull this saran wrap off of this and see what this looks like. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. Look at that texture. Oh, that is pretty. I like that. That is going to be so pretty with something on the top in black or white. Love, love, love that. Alright, I used a Tim Holtz die, and this is the, let's see what this one's called. This one is called, well, it's two trees, so I'm assuming it's called a tree die. Woodlands. It's got two different sized trees in it, and I used where I painted over that. And remember, I told you I left it kind of splotchy. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So if you don't have the right color of green, you could paint you one. Look at that. I love that. That's pretty. Alright, so we've recreated 3 card fronts. Now, I haven't finished them out with all of the message and everything that I'm going to put on them, but I just kind of put them together to show you how you can use this. This is the blue that I did the plastic wrap with. Yeah, I did the plastic wrap on that one, so it shows you. And I just did a white thanks, and I'll put some other embellishments on there, and then I just backed it with a little bit of white cardstock. So I think that's pretty. I like how I like that texture in the background. I really like that. This is the one that I did, the tissue paper or that food wrap paper that I had. This is the one that I did that on. And I painted it with that pearlescent, as you can see. And then I cut the green tree out of that green piece that I had painted. And let me show you. And I'm going to use that for a stencil because that's nice and thick. So I've got a little stencil now made. But I did the green tree. I cut that out of that. And then I did a black and a white one and put that kind of in the background. And then I went back with what white paint I had left on my palette and just tipped the edges of that tree on the branches with that white paint to make it look like snow. So I really like that. And then you could always come back in, you know, with your paintbrush and that white and just do some little touches. That would be the snow. all around. And that looks just exactly to me like snow. Just do it in all different areas around through there. Falling all the way down. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Just by tapping that little bit of white paint on the background. So then we got that one, and then this is the one that I took. I took two different images that we had done. This one had the saran wrap on it. No. This purple one had the tissue paper on it. And then this one, we did that tapping background with the bubble wrap. So I put that one on the bottom, cut a little scallop oval out of the yellow, and then used that purplish one on the top, and then just put happy, and I'm going to put Easter underneath that because I think that looks like a pretty Easter card. So that is just 3 cards. I could keep going and going and going, but this was supposed to be a short video, and it has turned out to be a very long one. But if you're interested in any of these products, the Arteza Iridescent Acrylic Paints, or, oh, these are heavy, the Craft Acrylic Paints, these come in the 20 pack, these are the 10 pack, and then they also have the 40 pack of the acrylic markers. Now these acrylic markers work just exactly like the paint, except you can write with them. I'll show you a tip on one so that you'll know they're nice barrel, and then there's your tip. So anybody that can do that beautiful calligraphy writing, I think you could probably do it well with these. So got those. These come in the 40 packs. So I will link all of these below. I do have a discount code that I'll share with you for 10% off if you want any of these products. And I will also link our dies that we used to cut these different items here. I will also use link all these dies below for the ones that I can find. Some of the older ones, like these older Prima ones, I may not be able to find, but I'll find as many as I can, or as close to whatever as I can. All right, guys, that was our Tuesday's tips, tricks, and techniques. I hope you enjoyed this. Every time I think they're going to be short, they end up being a little bit longer because I have so much that I want to show you. But we will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you like this type of videos. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.